Hey everybody, Tim from Tierfon Orbital. I have no idea who makes this hilt. I think I know what it's named, but I don't know the manufacturer. Neither does the client, unfortunately. The client knows that it's called the Zero52. I don't know. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Leave some comments down below and tell me who makes this thing. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk about what went into this build. We will talk about the chassis a little bit. We will talk about how to use the hilt, and then we'll be on our way. So as with my other videos, we're just going to do a quick rundown. We'll go from top to bottom, bottom to top. We'll talk about the chassis, and we'll do a quick demo, and we'll be on our way, right? Nice and easy. So let's get into it. This is the Zero52 by insert name here. I don't know where this hilt came from. I don't know who makes it. Client knows that it's called the Zero52, but it's, you know, just a super straightforward hilt, nice and hefty. It's two pieces. The grip unscrews. The top emitter section here is all one piece. We've got some cool, I guess you'd call these blade guards. I really don't know. But the black on red, it's pretty cool looking. So to tie in with the black on red, I actually went with a translucent red chassis, okay, and this is in fact a CFX build, so I did go with a translucent red chassis. Let's talk about the chassis now really quick. Here is the chassis, very straightforward design. I was able to get some greebly work on the outside of it. I've been pretty spoiled lately with a lot of the hilts that I've been installing, specifically some of the KY hilts, and like the KR Sabers Darkness hilt has so much room in the grip. So back to doing like skinny builds, right? So this had plenty of room for a 24mm speaker. We've got room for, this was a CFX build, so there's a CFX tray here. Plenty of room to get the SD card out, and around the other side we have a kill switch, and I made a channel for a Bluetooth module at the request of the client, right? That's it, pretty straightforward. So let's talk about how to use the chassis, right? So I already unscrewed the grip. You unscrew your grip. The negative spring is here, so you want to put your battery in negative towards the speaker. Now I already had that on, so there is a kill switch here. You want to engage your kill switch once the battery is in, and you'll get an audible cue to know that your board is on. The Bluetooth module is right up here, okay? And around the other side, we've got our CFX board, crystal focus. It's been a while since I've done any CFX builds. Let's talk about that, actually. So let's come down. So it's been a hot minute since I've done a CFX build. I think I did one a couple of months ago for a client. I only own one CFX hilt that's in my personal collection. I've just been living in the proffie-verse for so long that I actually had to take a refresher course on CFX configuring. I mean, it's pretty straightforward wiring-wise. However, I will say, man, are we spoiled when we build on proffie boards? The pads on proffie boards are gargantuan compared to the pads on these CFX boards. I really don't like how danger close the aux and main switch pads are to the processor. You can't see it's on the other side of the board. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't even think of this. And I spoke to Benji from Nerf Herder Customs a couple days ago, and he was like, yeah, that's why I solder through hole. You just put, you know, you solder, you strip your wire and you put it through the hole, and then you solder on the opposite side. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So yeah, you just got to be careful when doing CFX. I mean, I've had to be careful. I've actually lost a board last week because a microscopic bead of solder got on that chip. And once you do that, you can't get it off. You got to send it off to get repaired. But yeah, I don't know. I think I've been a little spoiled with all my proffie builds, right? So no more complaining out of me, right? CFX 24mm speaker. So once you get your battery in, you want to put your grip back on. Make sure it's on. Okay. Right, so with this particular build, initially the client wanted to have just a single momentary switch. There was a switch that came with it. It's just one of those red AV switches, which, you know, if you know me well enough, that you know that I can't stand those switches. So I'm glad that the client did, you know, They did find the KR pixel switches to be pretty cool, and we did go with a dual KR pixel switch. So it sits in that same footprint as a 10mm switch, but there's two. There's a top and a bottom, and in between them are two neopixels, right? So the top is your aux, bottom is your main. Let's put a blade in it. Right, so there's a red knurled thumb screw at the top of this emitter section. Just make sure that's unscrewed enough to get your blade down. Rest your blade on those handy dandy brass pins, and you're ready to go. This is like a green flame blade. So I've got to play around a little bit more in CFX. It's been a while since I've done any configuring on CFX.
Sound bank selection. Audio player. SD card system exit menu. That's to crack on.
Second, sister. You're in fire.
It's like a yellow flame blade kind of deal. So yeah, there's all kinds of really, really handy stuff that you can do with CFX that's, you know, that you can't necessarily do with Proffie. Aux works. I think with the new code rev of CFX, they have incorporated twist to activate, twist to deactivate. I have not upgraded this to that version yet. However, I'm going to do that before I get it off to the client. But with that being said, that's it. Just a nice quick rundown on CFX unknown manufacturer lightsaber. So, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support to the customer. Thank you very much for trusting me with the build. If anyone knows where this came from, let me know, because I'm curious. And with that being said, thank you for watching. May the Force be with you always.